Right, welcome back guys, as I clamber up on this rock for the effect of this incredible location. And I don't really know how to start this week's video, to be honest. To begin with, I wasn't supposed to start it today, but I'm back in Scotland, and as you can see behind me, we have got some sensational views. And I've driven up from England, and it's been about 9 hours to get here, and I'm not looking for any sympathy when I say that. But I wanted today just to be my travelling day, a lot like when I travelled up to Glencoe actually about 3 weeks ago. And I wanted to check into my hotel this evening and just relax, chill out, do a little bit of research in the local area. I'm here in Scotland for 3 days and feeling very fortunate, over the moon that I'm able to be back up here in this incredible country, feeling really grateful once again. And yeah, that was the plan really, and I didn't want to do any photography this evening because I just wanted to relax and, you know, recover from the journey or whatever. Now here's the thing, over the next 3 days the forecast isn't looking too good. It's going to be good for landscape photography. You know, we're going to have stormy skies, a little bit of rain, potentially even a little bit of snow in one of my locations that I've loosely planned. However, the forecast is telling me that there's not going to be much light. Whereas this evening, not quite at the minute, but there's a lot of breaks in the clouds, and the light potentially is going to be good over the next hour, hour and a half. We could be onto a really nice sunset. So even though I'm knackered, I'm not feeling massively enthusiastic or anything like that, I'm dragging myself out of the car. I've not checked into my hotel yet, and obviously I've not much to complain about really, have I? I'm down here at the shores of Loch Maree, well into the Highlands of Scotland, and I'm so excited to be here. But yeah, I'm just going to explore around, to be honest. It really is one of these locations where, although I don't like to say this, there's still going to be a bit of effort involved, and there's been a lot of effort involved with me getting here. It's one of those locations that it's just kind of made for landscape photography. To be honest, you can't go too far wrong. If you make the effort to come up to this sort of place, you're going to be rewarded with incredible views like this, and potentially, you know, if you know some basic rules of composition, you're going to get some decent landscape photographs as well. So yeah, I'm going to explore around. I'm pretty much going to be taking something similar to what the scene is behind, to be honest. It's going to be really basic. I don't need to mess about too much. This is beautiful. We've got some incredible Scots pines dotted about the place. And yeah, I'm just going to explore up and down this loch, to be honest. Simple stuff, like I always say. So I'd love you guys to stick with me. We'll see how the evening pans out. Hopefully we get a nice sunset. Hopefully we'll get some light. Let's go and explore. Whoa, I am shattered. Right, so I've had a real good wander around, to be honest, down these incredible shores of Loch Maree. However, unfortunately, the light has disappeared, completely gone, and it's clouded over a little bit, and it's become a little bit drab and grey, unfortunately, which is a bit frustrating because that's the whole reason I stopped, because the light was nice. I was trying to make the most of it. If the light wasn't nice, honestly, I wouldn't have stopped. I'd have gone straight to the hotel because I'm here tomorrow. So, but it's been good. It's been really nice to have a little bit of an explore in preparation for tomorrow, to be honest. So it's not been a wasted little stop. I am knackered, but yeah. There's this one pine tree here that is looking really promising. Full of character. It's almost personified, the way it's sort of leaning in to the mountain, and I'm not in the right frame of mind at the minute, but I think, you know, if I can come back here tomorrow morning, whether or not we get a nice sunrise remains to be seen. But yeah, I think I could make something of this little scene here, fingers crossed, with the light on that one. But yeah, on top of that, there's loads of other pine trees around the place, and it's nice and simple. There's no sort of mess in the foreground or anything like that. And of course, we've got the beautiful Loch Maree there as well, which would be a nice bit of mid-ground. But yeah, for now, I'm going to get back to the old hotel and just chill out, do a bit more research, and I shall see you guys in the morning. Oh wow, so good morning, welcome back. Little bit of a change of plan for this morning. The weather overnight was horrendous. I'm talking 50, 60 mile an hour winds, howling winds, really heavy rain, and my hotel is actually just behind you guys there now. It's obviously a wonderful location, but yeah, I woke up thinking, this is grim, this is going to be really bad. I've travelled all this way and I'm not even going to be able to get out with my camera. However, little bit of a change of plan. Behind me here is Loch Gairloch, which is actually a sea loch, which is fantastic for these sorts of stormy conditions. Obviously, because it means we're getting all this beautiful stormy weather, gorgeous waves flying in on the coast. So there's a lot of potential here. I am going to go back to Loch Marie later on today, which is where you saw me yesterday, earlier on in the video. But yeah, for this morning, I think it's a good idea to be on the coast. For the next 2 or 3 days, I'm going to be heading inland, kind of over towards the Cairngorm National Park. So this is going to be my only opportunity for coastal photography. So I'm going to try and make the most of it. So yeah, I'm just going to spend the morning wandering up and down this coast here at Gairloch, see what I can find, and essentially just try and make the most of these beautiful stormy conditions. I'm already thinking, you know, some sort of short, long exposure photographs, anywhere between sort of 1 to 5 seconds, try and capture the essence of these beautiful stormy conditions, capture the movement of these waves and stuff like that. So yeah, beautiful backdrop. We've got the Isle of Skye over there and some more peninsulas over here. Gorgeous mountainous backdrop, incredible. I've got a lawn sausage and potato scone breakfast roll, favourite thing in the world. Actually, when I got down to this beach, the weather's not too bad now, but before it was still windy and rainy, and I had a bit of an epiphany, a bit of realisation that eating this now on this beautiful Scottish beach here, up here for landscape photography, I'm living my dream. This is my dream. This is what I want to be doing if I could every single day of my life. This is everything that I want. I grew up in these weather conditions. I love it. This is what it's all about. So that being said, I'm going to enjoy this experience and wander up and down this coast with my camera, probably do a bit of driving as well, see what I can find. Come with me. Whoa, top drawer. Right, wow, I'm so glad I made the decision to stay on the coast for this morning, at least for a little bit. This is just incredible. I've really missed this kind of photography. It's such a rush. We've still got some gorgeous stormy conditions. The wind and the rain has died down a little bit, which is actually a good thing because we're still getting the stormy conditions out at sea and in this composition, but it's not too bad for me being stood out in it, and it's not, you know, soaking my camera or my filters or anything like that. So yeah, this has been awesome, and I've been playing around for ages here with this composition. I've been here for about an hour. I started off with my 18 to 55mm lens, and I was trying to get quite a wide field of view of what you can see here in front of my camera, which is working fairly well, but the problem there was the tide actually receded back outwards and exposed all these rocks here in the foreground a little bit ttoo much for my liking, which meant it was way too messy for a wide shot, I thought. So I decided to get my 55 to 200 lens on, and I'm zoomed in about 135mm, and I'm just kind of pointing the camera in that direction where we've got all these beautiful layers. So we start in the foreground with the sea, beautiful stormy waves coming in onto this beach. Then we've just got a few peninsulas jutting out throughout the image, giving it so much depth. And the thing that I absolutely love here is the way the waves are crashing into them peninsulas. And I've got all my settings and everything set up in a way that that's my sort of priority when I'm taking these photographs. And then of course we've got the beautiful mountains there in the background. Little bit of detail in the sky, just enough in my opinion to make for an all-round really good composition here. So the settings here for once are actually really important. So what I'm prioritising here is my shutter speed. I want a shutter speed that's going to capture the movement of those crashing waves perfectly. And I've a lot of trial and error, which is usually necessary in this sort of situation, but I've come to the conclusion that my perfect shutter speed in this situation is 1/5 of a second, and that's allowing me to capture that movement in them waves, but still capture enough detail so whoever's looking at the photograph can see the emotion in this landscape. They can see how this weather is, the stormy weather, the wind, beautiful movement in the ocean. It really is. So 1/5 of a second, perfect shutter speed. It's giving the whole image a really nice painterly effect to the movement we're getting in that water. Now, this has been a little bit of an issue, bit of a catch-22 here. If I want that 1/5 of a second with no neutral density filters on the front, I need to shoot at f/18 at ISO 100. Don't really like closing my aperture up so much, more than f/14 really, but my other compromise would be to use my 6-stop ND filter, get my 1/5 of a second shutter speed, but then I'd have to ramp up my ISO to about ISO 320. Both aren't, they're not massive compromises, but I'm just going with this one. If anything, it's just easier not having to put my ND filter in. In this situation, I would say a 3-stop ND filter would do the job perfectly. But yeah, 1/5 of a second, f/18, ISO 100, got the composition set up, and all I've been doing really is waiting for the waves to crash into them rocks at the perfect time. Taking loads of photographs, to be honest, and just enjoying it. Honestly, this is bloody awesome. And it's just that painterly effect. It looks like a painting. It's as simple as that. Could be up in a gallery, in an art gallery. It's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, a lot of trial and error, a lot of playing around, but ultimately I really think it's going to be worth it for a nice photograph here. Okay, so we finally made it back to the incredible shores of Loch Maree, and I found something pretty cool here. Before I show you, I'll try and explain to you how I found it. I was using my Ordnance Survey maps, my topography maps, which I talked about loads in the past. I love browsing them and just finding little landmarks and just going down and exploring and see if they're worth shooting. Now I'm currently on the sort of western shore of Loch Maree, so I'm not far from where I was yesterday, but I am in a completely different place. And I spotted this small little island that just comes off from one of the shores of Loch Maree on my Ordnance Survey maps, and I thought, this has got to be worth investigating. So I've had to come through this forest, which is absolutely gorgeous, by the way. It's just, the floor is just covered in moss. It's beautiful. In the right light, you get a world-class photograph in there, but this is just amazing. And let me show you this scene behind me. Absolutely stunning. We've got this small little island or islet that's just a perfect distance from the shore. This is just perfect for photography. And then behind it, you can't quite see it at the minute, but we have got Slioch, not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but beautiful imposing mountain there in the background. It's the same one that I was trying to shoot yesterday with the Scots pine in the foreground. Just something that I still want to try and achieve this afternoon. But for now, what a little shoreline to walk up and down and explore, and you can sort of see what kind of photograph I'm going to take here. Foreground, background, all of that. Absolutely amazing. What a little find. So yeah, I'm going to explore a little bit, see how I can sort of figure out the best composition possible. Come with me. Right, so I'm getting set up, and apologies, it's a bit all over the place, but the light is just gorgeous at the minute in the mountains in the background. and as you've seen from the video so far, we haven't had much light, so I'm really going to try and make the most of this opportunity. Like I've mentioned, or sort of half mentioned, the composition here is all sort of, it's almost made for us. We've just got to make a few minor adjustments and we could get a decent photograph here. So yeah, I'm going to try and make the most of the light, get set up as quickly as possible, see what we can get. Awesome stuff. Oh god. Okay, wow, this is absolutely amazing. I think I'm going to get a really, really good photograph here. You can see I'm set up here now. Gorgeous, gorgeous scene. We've got this island in the foreground, the beautiful Slioch mountain in the background. Still don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but what is making this photograph are the conditions. If you look at the mountain off there in the background, it is lit with beautiful, beautiful sunlight. Right off there in the distance, but then in the foreground, we've got a sort of weather front coming in now, which means that we're getting a little bit of rain every now and again. It's incredible. Beautiful contrast, such Scottish conditions. I'm really, really trying to make the most of them. Funny little setup with my settings. What I'm trying to achieve here, even though I'm on a tripod, I'm trying to achieve a quick shutter speed. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to capture all the raindrops on the loch here in the foreground. So I'm shooting f5.6, just opening up the aperture, trying to let as much light as possible in through that lens, just so I can get a quicker shutter speed. 1/320th of a second, and I've bumped my ISO up to 400 as well, just so I can get that quick shutter speed as well. But yeah, that's the idea. Whether or not I can pull it off, I don't know. But it's that contrast of two different weather conditions throughout the depth of this whole photograph that I think is really, really going to make it here. Yeah, but gorgeous composition. I hope you like this shot. I'll show you that one now. I'm going to pack up and I'm going to head back down to the middle of Loch Marie where we spent yesterday evening, so the beginning of the video for you guys, and I'm going to go and hunt for that single Scots pine tree with Slioch off there in the background. I really hope you like this photograph, guys. I think it could be a cracker. So we're currently in a little bit of a hailstorm, what you can potentially see behind me. Wow, look at that. This place is incredible. There's just moments of fleeting light, hail, as you can see, rain, stormy clouds. We really have got it all today. This is incredible. So I decided, like you've probably heard, I decided against going back to Loch Marie where we spent yesterday evening, or the start of the video for you guys. I just think that with that little island shot that I got, I kind of got my Scots pine in the foreground and mountain in the background fix. That kind of did me. So I had a bit of a plan B location the whole while, which is a bit more of a sort of foresty woodland place. And I decided to make that my plan A, and that's exactly what I'm doing at the minute. Oh my God. Look at that. I don't even know if you can see anything at the minute with all them raindrops. That is ridiculous. This place, Scotland, is just in a league of its own. Oh my God. So yes, about an hour and a half, I'm about halfway now to get to this little foresty place. There should be streams, waterfalls, rivers and lochs. We're surrounded by mountains, beautiful snow-capped mountains. Oh my God. So yeah, I don't think it's a proper woodland. We're not going to enter into a woodland sort of thing. It's going to be a lot of sort of sporadic Scots pine trees and stuff, which is just perfect. So we might be able to get some of these incredible mountains in the background in our images and stuff like that. But yeah, remains to be seen. I'm going to continue following this path and let's see where it leads. Whoa. Alright, so I'm getting there now. I'm pretty sure this area of trees here is my forest. It's going to be a very small area, but as you can see from the scene behind me, it's looking like it's probably, fingers crossed, I don't want to tempt fate too much, but it's looking like it's going to be worth the effort to get here. It's been about 2 or 2.5 hours, to be honest. It's been quite the little trek, but yeah, it's looking gorgeous at the minute. Beautiful river that looks like it's running through it. There's a bridge up here according to my Ordnance Survey maps, which means we're going to be able to get over into the trees up there, and pretty much just getting into the golden hour now, there or thereabouts. So loads of different breaks in the clouds and stuff, bits of blue sky all over the place. So fingers crossed, hopefully we do get some nice light now and again, but if not, beautiful subjects here in the foreground and then them gorgeous snow-capped mountains over there in the background. Should be worth it, so let's go and explore up there. Alright, so I've got to talk quite quietly because there's a herd of deer just off there in the distance. Now, I don't know anything about wildlife photography, and I don't know a lot about wildlife, and I don't know if maybe they're really tame and I could just go over and photograph them. I don't know. They're starting to run off a little bit. I'm thinking they might be alarmed by my red jacket. Again, I don't even know if they can see the colour red, no idea. But anyway, to explain what happened up there, it didn't really go to plan. It didn't really go to plan at all. I got up there, the weather changed, and I just decided to turn around and come back this way, back to the 2 locks where I was really excited before. It just wasn't happening up there, and we got to this sort of valley where all the mountains around us, we couldn't see them anymore, which was a little bit unfortunate. The forest was nice, but yeah, it just wasn't worth it. But for now, I'm going to try my best to grab a photograph of these deer down here. But I don't have a clue how to go about it. They have just sort of run around the corner though. I'll tell you what, I'll chat to you in a minute. So the deer got away. As soon as they saw me, they just legged it. I think as soon as I started talking, I alarmed them. I tried to run after them. As soon as I got to the corner where I saw them all, couldn't even see where they'd gone. They're well up in the hills somewhere now, but it was cool to see them. I never see anything like that. So yeah, that was a nice experience, but bit of a shame. Probably a lot to learn with shooting wildlife. But yeah, I don't think, by the looks of it, I don't think I'm going to end up getting a photograph from this location. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on the way back to my car. Still got a couple of hours to walk, but I think I put all my energy and all my effort into the forest that I just went back up to there, and once I got up there, it wasn't really any good, to put it simply, and a bit disappointing because I had my eyes on the prize. You know, I wanted to get to that forest, and I tried to ignore everything on the way because I wanted to spend my time up there, so a little bit disappointing, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day now, head back to my car. Like I say, I'll keep my eyes peeled. If I do get any other shots, I'll leave them up just at the end of this little chat here, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. What an incredible day, really. What an experience, even photography aside, but I think there might even be 1 or 2 potentials for the March photography calendar there as well. Amazing day, really rich day of photography. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If anybody is new here, please do consider subscribing. There's loads more of this content to come. I'd love to have you all on board. And as always, to you guys that support me week in, week out, thank you so much. Please comment below. We'd love to know if you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys next week, which will be from, fingers crossed, hopefully a wonderful location that I've got planned for myself tomorrow. So I hope to see you then. See you next week on the next adventure. Out.